Going back to the previous question about violence, like how do the players treat the referees today opposed to back when you played years ago? Would you think it's a lot less respect, more respect, equal respect? What do you think it is today compared to the way it was 30 years ago?
I've seen both. I've seen the same respect, and I've seen worse. I just heard a comment this week where a kid just came up and threw a forearm right in the back of a kid toward the end of a play, toward his back of his neck area, and it was away, disengaged, and he came and hit, and he said the ref said threw the flag, and he's like, what for? And the ref explained, that's an illegal thing, and the kid said, in what world do you live in? And I was like, holy cow. And then another flag ended up coming, but it's like, it's mind-blowing some of the reactions that they get when you try to, and then I threw a flag this week for a kid saying something he shouldn't, that was heard on the sideline, heard that he wasn't doing much during the game, but he ran his mouth toward another player from the opposing team that was getting, like, the defender on him was just manhandling him really well. And this kid came over and said something, and he said something inappropriate, and I threw the flag. And I went to him and I said, do you understand what this is for? Yes, sir. I said, then go tell your coach. I said, run over and tell your coach. He went over, and the coach was actually grateful. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't want that on my team. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing with how they react to you is also a lot how you react to them. Mm-hmm. Kid complains.
Mutual respect kind of thing.
I'm like, listen, here's the rule. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, they're respectful, but you get the ones that are, I don't know how to describe it. It's just something that I didn't grow up with, and I couldn't imagine ever talking back to an official. Mm-hmm. Well, I can say this. I spend about 10 hours a week between game day and going to my meetings, and that's just game day and meetings. And then I'm spending probably another 3 or 4 hours going over a casebook, understanding, and then I'll watch games. I'll watch some college games, I'll watch some pro games, just to watch my keys on TV and see how I'm following them and make sure I'm tracking that, just to get myself to differentiate between ball watching and position watching. Mm-hmm. I had that this week where there was a game that came down to the end, last play, and they thought that something occurred that was illegal with the center, and they approached me. The coach did great and said, hey, did you see this? Like, isn't the rule you cannot do whatever? And I said, yes, but I was watching my position, and I didn't look over for what you wanted me to see. Mm-hmm. I was watching my guys. And if I'm not watching my guys, I'm watching here to see this, I'm going to miss what goes on here. And then you're going to ask me, what were you watching?
Then it would become a free-for-all.
Yeah.
We'd have a bunch of game watchers out there.
Yes.
And that's not what you're getting paid to do, and that's not what your integrity should be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the things I do too as an official is I talk to myself a lot when I'm out there.
Really, just when you're officiating?
Yeah, thanks. So I do that to keep myself in the game. And then I got ball boys that are, generally I got some pretty good ball boys that they'll start asking me questions. And I had one, the kid at North Penn. It was it Friday night I had them? I don't remember what night. It was like a blur. Might have been even the week before.
Must have been the week before.
Yeah. He says to me, hey, what's your routine? I want to know what your routine is on game day. And I'm like, well, I'm excited, looking for the day. I want to see good play. And then I tell him, like, he's like, well, what do you eat? What do you do before? And so we have those conversations. You're making little relationships, Mm-hmm. And that ball boy was an injured player who was coming back. And it was cool. And he's like, man, you go running up and down that sideline all the time, and I don't even realize you're gone, and I'm trying to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had it again this week where it was a little kid. He was a first grader, ball boy, and he was asking me all kinds of questions, and we get talking, about, hey, this is what I'm doing, and getting them interested in the game and knowing what's going on. And they're like, well, why are you saying those numbers? And they said, because that number, that receiver, is being covered by that defender. And I know if I have them, I can release them across to my other guy. Or if someone comes in, I know, and then if there's a penalty, I know what numbers I'm calling it on,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going on that
Mm-hmm.
I look like I'm talking to myself, but I'm talking about the game and getting it going. And then anybody around me, before you know it, I get like a little crowd. What are you doing? What's going on?
This guy, they say, man, this guy's a great ventriloquist.
Yeah.
You can't even see his lips move.
Oh my God. Yeah. But like you get other relationships. I had two people at the Wellsboro game who were interested in being officials. So I said, come on down and shadow. Great opportunity to shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It was good with their athletic department and stuff like that. Like I asked the head at halftime, I said, hey, can, one of the game managers or whatever, I said, can they come down on the field? And they're going to be with me so they can see this and understand what's going on. And it was an opportunity for them when they were done. They're like, I can't believe all the things that go on. And I said, what do you think? And they're like, you got us intrigued now to do this. It was a guy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or girl, like get involved.
There's a referee shortage. In case you didn't know, here's a news flash. There's a referee shortage. And that's why we play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday games in the NTL and across the state, really. I mean, it's not just up here there's a ref shortage. It's around the whole country. PIAA.org. Go there. I'll be a broken record. Go take your test. No matter what sport you want to do, volleyball, softball, baseball, track, anything you want to do, you go on there. They need referees, so.
It's fun. It's worth it. The camaraderie, the relationships you build, the coaches you meet, the players, whether you see them going on or, they've come up to me so many times. Hey, you were my ref.
Yep.
Yeah. And they'll remember a call too, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But the relationship, ball boys, the band, the ADs, like you meet so many people and you create a network too, a good network.
Being a referee, you never get a chance to speak other than make your call. So I think this platform that PA Football News gives you guys, gives you guys a personality and lets you say what you see out there and experiences you've had and share them with thousands and thousands of people, where if it wasn't for this platform, you're just a guy in zebra stripes running up and down talking to yourself,
Yeah, that's about it. But it's really cool, like all the coaches through the NTL, and then down in the Heartland Conference when I've done playoff games and stuff, I've met some really great coaches, some good people that, I wouldn't have had that opportunity otherwise.
Yep. I think football as a whole, from top to bottom, will sculpt your life and make you a better human being. Whether you're playing, refereeing, coaching, anything, because you affect so many people. It's not just one person you affect literally a whole ecosystem of people. And I think no matter what you want to do, volunteer coach, be a referee, be the guy running the clock, it's a huge benefit for these young kids that are playing these sports to have all this stuff and to have people that volunteer their time and put the time into these kids so they can have it like the big guys have it. So when they go to the next level, it's not a drastic step, it's more of a gradual incline. When you say that's true?
That's well said, yeah. Get involved. Like you said, clock operator, that's so important that sometimes it gets complicated, but once you figure it out, it's not bad. Even a 40-second play clock operator, I've had really good ones, and I've had ones where I'm like, this is not working out, stop the play clock, and I have to keep it on the field. And that becomes very troublesome for opposing teams, especially when I'm on the home side and I'm raising my hand with 10 seconds and their quarterback's not picking it up on me, and I'm counting down 5 and they get a flag. Yeah, it's worth getting involved somehow.
Exactly. And the 40-second clock operator, that's a great way to put your foot in the door, because literally all you have to do is when they blow the whistle, you hit the button. You can't be on your phone messing around. You have to pay attention, so when that whistle blows, you hit the button. Now, to be the main clock operator, that's quite more complex than just being the 40-second guy. But
yes.
But after you get your foot in the door as a 40-second clock operator, you can learn how to do the clock and what keys to watch and all the rules and stuff. And I think anybody out there watching this, if you want to be a part of a football squad, any part of the country, not just Pennsylvania, go in Pennsylvania, PIAA.org, sign up if you want to be a referee. Go talk to your hometown football team and say, hey, I'd like to volunteer, as maybe you want to be the guy holding the flag, the first down flag, the sticks out there. From top to bottom, they need people, because people aren't volunteering like they should, like they would back in the old days. And they just have a shortage of everything from top to bottom. And if you want to get involved, go get involved, please.
Please do, definitely. Talk to your local ADs too. Get a hold of the school district, talk to the ADs. I push that heavy. The more we have, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely.
Pulling from a bigger pool is just going to give us better opportunities to get things right.
And if you're just running the 40-second clock, you're up in the booth, a nice warm booth when it's freezing out.
Yeah.
And you get to learn a lot about the football game that you would never learn just sitting in the stands as a fan. You get to see a lot of behind the scenes action, see the announcer and his spotters that are telling him who made the tackle and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes in to producing a football game. From referees to stick holders to the halftime show, the announcers, the radio programs. It's quite a network that really goes on. And if you're just buying your ticket for $3 and sitting in the stand, you're kind of missing the boat on what's really happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. You get your clearances, and then before you know it, you're set up and you start talking to the refs, and before you know it, you're out there with them.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but that's a great segue for it, is do the stuff in the background that people don't notice as much. That's very important.
Absolutely. Without that stuff, you can't have the guys scoring touchdowns and getting big time first downs and going on to the next level, because we don't have that. You got to have all this stuff to make everything work.
That's well said.
So from PA Football News, I'm Lindsey Bennett, and Rich Mosick was great enough to give us time this time again. And next week we'll find another referee. I want to try to get a youngin, somebody that don't got a lot under his belt, and see what his outlook on the deal is.
We'll figure that out.
So for PAFootballNews.com, I'm Lindsey Bennett, and this is Rich Mosick. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, PA Football News. Thank you, Lindsey Bennett.